So this is a 45-minute class. We'll end at about 10:50. Basically, if you know you need to be up and out of here by 10:45, just you can pop out at Shavasana time. But I highly advise sticking around for the Shavasana. Okay, so coming onto your back, feet together, knees wide open. Feel how it feels to let your body just be wide open. Let the chest get broad. Let the heart have lots of room to breathe. Let the knees be heavy so your hips get that opening. We'll take about 3 more big breaths all the way in, all the way out. And then on the next inhale, take a full body stretch. Straighten your legs, reach your arms up high, spark through the fingers, spark through the toes. It's like that first big stretch, first thing in the morning. And then as you exhale, hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze into a little ball, maybe even rock a little side to side. And then let's hold the right knee, but extend the left leg out. Hover the foot just an inch or 2 above the ground. Keep your shoulders up off of the mat. Squeeze the right knee into your chest. This is compressing that right hip flexor, lengthening the left hip flexor a bit. And then without letting the head drop or the feet touch the ground, switch legs. Extend the right leg, hug the left knee. Squeeze that in. And then switch again, hug the right knee, extend the left. And switch again, hug the left, straighten the right. Let's do it 2 more times, hug the right, hug the left. Keep the head lifted, hug the right, hug the left. Good, hug both, give yourself a nice little squeeze, and then rock yourself up to seated. Come over onto all fours, hands pressing down to the ground, shoulders right over the top of the wrists. Take 3 cat-cows here, just warming up, feeling your body move back and forth, stretching the muscles of the front and the back side of the body. And then find your neutral. Let's take the right leg, extend it back behind you, dig the toes into the ground, and press through your heels. So we're getting a stretch into the calf muscle. The toes are on the ground. Stay strong through your core and strong through the hands pushing down. 1 more breath here, feeling your calf muscles get that stretch. And then lift the right leg in line with your hips. Good. Let's take the right foot all the way out over to the right and let it lower down to the ground. So the right leg is extended out to the side. Then take 3 cat-cows right here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round it up. Inhale, belly drops, lift up. And exhale, round. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Then come back to neutral with your spine. And then if you like, you can stay up here on your hands or drop down to forearms. Feeling the inner thigh stretch. Breathe. You can move your head around, nodding yes and no. Finding tightness in the neck and the jaw. And try to let it go. And then come back up onto your hands. Lift the leg up into the air, some glute strength. Cross it around. Take it all the way behind you and over to the left. It's awkward. Look over at the foot and let that stretch down the right side of your body. And then we lift that foot back up. Bring it in line with the hips. Bend the knee. Imagine your foot is going to stomp on the ceiling up above you. Lift it up as high as you can get it. Keep lifting, push the ground away. Take your left hand straight forward. Then circle the left hand back. Grab hold of that right foot. Hold on to it and get bigger in every direction. Look up, kick into your hand, peel your chest open for 3, 2, and 1. Let it all go. Come back down to hands and knees. Take a cat-cow just to reset in the center. And let's do it all again on the left side. So take your left foot, extend it back behind you, toes on the ground. Press back through your heel. Feel the calf muscles getting a stretch. Good. And then lift your leg in line with your hips. Take it all the way open to the left side as far as you can go, and then let the foot find the ground. 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, look up. Really move your pelvis back and forth. Tuck your tail under. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Come back to your flat back, neutral. And then down to the forearms. Breathe here. And again, freedom to wiggle, right? So maybe move the shoulders, maybe move the head. And then come back up onto your hands. Lift the left leg up. Take it all the way across to the right and put it down on the ground. Look over your right shoulder, see your toes over there. Lengthen the left side of your body with that twisty stretch. Twisty stretch. And then come back, lift the leg so it's in line with the hips, straight back behind you. Bend the knee, stomp that foot up to the ceiling, lift, 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 so strong. Keep it lifted, take your right hand straight forward. And then big circle, take it back, grab hold of that foot. Open yourself up as you breathe. Look high, lift your knee higher for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Take a child's pose, hips to heels. Let's do it with your knees wide open so your chest can fall down your knee. And you breathe. See if your chest can get a little heavier. Your hips can get a little heavier. Imagine you've got me there, giving you an assist of pressing your hips down toward your heels, lengthening the spine and the low back a little bit. Then on your next inhale, come up to all fours. We're going to move it into a puppy dog pose. So walk your hands forward. Keep your hips stacked right over the top of the knees. Drop your chest toward the ground. You can bring your chin to the mat or your forehead. The goal here is to feel something in the upper body. Maybe the pecs and the shoulders, armpits. Really stretch those hands long. If you're not feeling much, a couple of self-adjustments you can do. Make sure your hips are stacked over your knees. Maybe you can walk your hands a little farther forward. And then let's breathe here. Soften something on this next exhale. Go ahead and slide your hips back to your heels. Child's pose. Head to the mat. And then take your hands, reach them back and grab a hold of your heels. You're still in child's pose, holding onto your heels. Now tuck your forehead against your knees. So you're rounding the upper back so much. Keep the head on the knees, the hands hold the heels. Straighten lift your bottom up in the air. You should get some nice stretch underneath the shoulder blades. Feel free to add your own sound effects to it. It should feel good. If you're not feeling much, make sure the forehead is tucked in tight against those knees if you can. Lift those hips a little bit higher. Let it open underneath the shoulders. Nice. Take one more big breath here. And then relax. Stretch the arms out long in front of you. Rise up to your first down dog. Toes tuck, hips go high. When you arrive, bend the knees one at a time, pedal it out. As much as you can, let the chest fall back towards the thighs. It's the same sensation that we just did in puppy dog pose that we're looking for here in your down dog, right? So let the chest be heavy back towards your thighs. Get that big stretching opening through the shoulders and the chest. Nice, that looks great. Take one more breath all the way in. And exhale it all out. And now walk your hands back to your feet, folding it back to the back of the mat. Let everything hang heavy. Grab opposite elbows. Give yourself a little sway side to side. Shake your head loose. Check that your jaw and your eyebrows are loose. And then release your hands down, interlace them at your low back. Straighten the arms up and over. Bring yourself up. Last big breath here. And release your hands down. On an inhale, lift halfway up, flatten out your back. You're flat as a tabletop. I could put my cup of coffee on your back and it wouldn't spill. Hands are pressing back against your legs, your heart is reaching forward. One more breath. Do you feel that in your hips and hamstrings? I hope so. And then forward fold and soften. Take your right hand, grab a hold of your left ankle. So right hand takes left ankle. Left hand goes up to the sky. Bend the right knee and lean against it. So we're twisting and we're straightening the left leg, giving a nice big stretch down through the left hip, maybe IT band, maybe low back. One more breath. Can you look at the ceiling? And then switch sides. Come back down through the center. Take your right hand, left hand grabbing your right ankle. Right hand to the sky. Left knee is bending. Ooh, this side might feel tighter than the other side. Or different. Breathe. Come back down to the center. Tuck your chin to your chest and round all the way up to standing. When you get to the top, reach out, up, look up, and exhale, hands to heart. Take a nice big breath in. Huge breath out. Good. Let's do some half sun salutations. Inhale, reach up, take up space. Exhale, dive forward all the way down. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, knees are soft. Rise to standing, reach for the sky, look up. Right away, dive forward, exhale. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up like you mean it, reach tall. One more time, dive, lead with your heart. Halfway lift. And fold. Rise up. Hands find your heart. Take a nice big breath in. Huge breath out. All right. Let's put all the weight over into your left foot. Pick up your right knee. Step it about halfway up your mat. And make sure your feet are on separate train tracks, not on a balance beam or a tightrope. Okay? Strong through your core. Those low abs are engaged. Take your arms out. Turn your palms to face back behind you. And then reach behind you and grab opposite elbows, or if you're ready for it, reverse prayer. Puff up your chest, get tall, forward fold. Allow your head to drop. See if you can point both hips towards the front of your mat. So probably pull your right hip back in space a little bit. Make sure you still have equal weight in both feet. Pick up your toes and make sure the feet are pressing down, but the toes aren't like clawing into your mat. 2 more breaths here. And then rise up, lift your chest high, reach the arms up. We're gonna step onto the right foot and the left knee lifts up. Oh, so smooth and graceful. Step it toward the top of your mat. And here we are ready to do the same thing on the left side. Take the hands out, turn the palms to the back of the room. Reach back, grab opposite elbows. Lift tall as you forward fold. Keep the left hip pulling back this time. Breathe. Legs are straight, try to take bend out of the knees if you can. On an inhale, rise back up, reach to the sky. Step all the way onto the left foot, hug the right knee up, and with control, step it down. You're at the top of the mat, standing tall. Sweep the arms down and up, look up. Dive it forward all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten back your back. And then press both hands down, step both feet back, high to low push-up, nice and strong. Inhale, come to up dog or baby cobra, depending on how your low back is feeling today. And then press up and back, down dog. Big, huge breath in. Big, huge breath out. Lift your right leg up and back. And then step that right foot in between your hands. High lunge, rising up tall. Good, we're moving. The heart is beating, the breath is flowing, getting some sweat. Lift up a little bit taller. As you exhale, tilt your torso forward, flying into your warrior 3. Breathe. Can your shoulders both point at the ground? Can both hips point at the ground? Usually that means left hip needs to drop a little lower. 1 more breath. Exhale, step it back, high lunge. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it back to down dog. You can flow, or you can just press the hips up and down. 2 big breaths here, in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Left side, left leg reaches up and back. Step it forward in between your hands, high lunge, rise up. Steady and strong through the legs. When you're ready, tip that torso forward and fly, warrior 3. Three more breaths here. Gracefully arrive back at that high lunge, reach for the sky. And then hands to the mat, down dog, find your way there. In your down dog, take a huge breath in and a huge breath out. Let's come down to your knees. And then we're going to go into camel pose back bend. So your knees can be about hips width apart. Strong through your core, keep your tailbone long. We want to avoid any crunching and condensing the spine in back bends, right? So we're here nice and tall. Take the arms up. Swim them around. Place the hands at the low back. Hug those elbows together. Lift your heart high. Breathe. I prefer that you focus on hugging the elbows close as opposed to a great big dramatic back bend. What that's going to do is open up the chest, the pecs, all that stuff that gets so tight and stressed out. Let's let it open up. And then on your inhale, rise back up. Big circles with your arms so your shoulder joint gets all that motion. And have a seat back on your heels. Hands rest on your thighs, spine is tall. Check in with yourself here for a few breaths. Just notice. How do you feel today? How is the breath? How is the body? And then we'll do it again. So rise back up onto your knees. Reaching for the sky. Option this time, if you'd like to take that back bend a little deeper, you could tuck your toes under, and that's going to lift your heels up a little bit higher. Swim those hands around. Start from the low back. Draw the elbows together, puff up the chest. If it's feeling all right for you, you could drop your hands down to the heels. The thing about this is we don't want to move the hips back in space. Keep pushing those hips forward, lifting your heart higher, and of course breathing. Use your inhale to rise back up. Swim those arms around, big range of motion in the shoulders. Have a seat in neutral. And breathe. Okay, let's do one more round of camel pose. So rise back up onto the knees. Reach for the sky. You can have toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Swim the hands to the low back. Draw the elbows together, puff up. Think about lengthening your spine before anything else. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Then you might start to go back. Your head can trace the ceiling all the way back to the wall behind you. Maybe hands drop down. Ooh. Breathe. Use your core strength to rise back up. Swim those hands around. Have a seat. First coming just into this neutral false spine, and then child's pose. Lengthen the arms out. The forehead fall to the ground. Breathe in child's pose. Reconnect to your breath. Every exhale, you're letting go. Letting go of that breath that you're done with. Letting go of some stress or some tension. And so it's like every breath throughout your practice brings you back a little bit closer to yourself. Brings you back to equilibrium. Some days it takes a few more breaths than other days. Let's give it one more big inhale. And a huge exhale. All right. And then stretch your hands out in front of you. Rise back up, down dog. Take your time, wiggle around a bit. And then settle into stillness right there in good old down dog. Nice big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Look forward, tiptoe your feet up to your hands. Fold in half as you get there. Inhale, lift halfway up to your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, reach up to the sky, look. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Let's do a few balancing poses. So we're going to stand tall. Feet can be about hips width apart. Shift all of your weight into your left foot. Hug your right knee up to your chest. And then we're going to place some extra focus on opening up through the hips today. So let's take a camper's pose. Turn this leg into like a figure four. Your ankle is over the top of the knee. The foot is flexed. Hands come to your heart. Then with control, start to sit down. Your hips press back. Your heart reaches forward. And as you do that, hopefully you're feeling the right glutes and outer hip talk to you a little bit. You might sink until the arms rest across that shin. But let's just stay here with it, right? We could take this into variations, but today we're looking for the stretch in the hip. 3 more big breaths. With control, rise back up. Lift that knee. Place the foot to the ground. Nice. Shake it off. Same thing, other side. So the weight steps onto the right foot. With control, lift the left foot up. Make it your figure 4 type of shape. That knee is opening back behind you as much as you can. Hand stuffer. Sink down into it, nice and smooth. Good. Maybe play with it a little bit. What happens if you look out and up? What happens if you sink your hips a little lower? Are you still breathing? I hope so. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then with control, come back up. Lift your knee high. Let it all go. Great, shake it up. Whew. Stepping back to the top of the mat. Let's take your feet wide out to the edges. Toes hang off the side, heels are in. Coming down into Malasana, Yogi's squat. Let me fix myself. Okay, drop the hips down low. Elbows wide. That same flat back, heart reaching forward and up. Tailbone is dropped low. And breathe here. Okay, let's play with a little bit of stretch into the upper body as well by adding in the twists. So take the right hand down to the ground. Left hand reaches up to the sky. And then you can maybe do a half bind with the left hand, tucking it around your lower back. Maybe full bind. Oof, maybe. With the right hand reaching right there to grab fingers. Breathe here, equal pressure into your feet. Try to soften something, somewhere. And then bring yourself back to the center. Whew. Same thing, other side. Left hand goes down. Right hand twists up and open. Whew. Look up there high. Half bind perhaps. Maybe a full bind. Decide, maybe those fingers catch each other, maybe they're reaching. Breathe. Come back to center. And then reach your arms forward and have a seat. Wow. Good. Let's do legs straight out front. Flex your feet. Press the heels into the ground. Reach up tall. Forward fold over your legs. Rise all the way back up. Baddha Konasana, feet come together. Grab onto the ankles. Sit tall. Lean yourself forward with a flat back first, so the movement of the forward fold is really originating deep down in the hips. Then you come as far as you can, round down. Then you can release the hands out. The torso is just falling forward with gravity. Bring yourself all the way back up. Let's take the legs wide out and open to the side. I feel like I love doing this so much and I never teach it. I don't know why. So legs wide open, feet flexed, heels pressing down. Avoid letting the knees knock inward. You want to keep the knees pointing up the ceiling or back behind you. Sitting tall, there's some ab strength here, right? Reach those arms out, and then forward fold. Remember to keep your back flat as long as it'll stay flat. Then you can round down. You can rest on the forearms or the hands. Check in with your knees. Take a peek at them. Did they roll inward? And if so, can you open them back? Let's keep the legs active. Feet are flexed. Heels are pressing down into the mat. Staying in your forward fold, walk your hands all the way over towards your right leg. Try to keep your hips equally pressed into the mat still. Two more breaths here. And then walk the hands all the way through the center. Maybe reach out a little farther and all the way over to the left. The right hip needs to keep pulling down into the ground. Root yourself down as you breathe. Come back into the center. Walk yourself back up to sitting tall. Good. Bring your knees into the center. You might even help them out a little bit. Hands behind the thighs. Feet on the ground. Reach your arms forward. Lower about halfway back with a flat, long spine. Breathing here. Lift one shin parallel to the ground. Lift two shins parallel to the ground. Keep breathing. If you'd like, you could straighten your legs. I don't think I have it in me today, but you go for it. Or 5. Sit taller. 4, 3, 2. And then as slow as you can or as you want, lower yourself down. Arms go up and over for that last little boost. And relax. Take a nice deep breath in. Empty yourself out. We're not quite done yet, though. Don't get too comfortable. Hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and a little rock side to side. Let's get upside down with the shoulder stand today. So take the legs straight up to the sky. Option to stay right here. This is a great place to hang out. Or toss the legs up and over your head, coming into plow pose. Hands find your low back. Legs lift to the sky. Breathing here. We're going to take about 7 more breaths here. If you want to play, you can make shapes with your legs. You can kick the tree. A little Baddha-Konasana. Whatever. It can be fun to move them around. It can also feel nice in the hips to move the legs. When you're ready, go back to plow pose, toes up and over. And then let's find the last big stretch through the upper body and neck by bending the knees and squeezing the temples or the ears. And then when you're ready, roll yourself out onto your back. Again, you decide how fast those legs are going to move. It's a little core work as you lower the legs all the way down to the ground. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. We'll take a fish pose for a little counter bend. Prop up onto your forearms, lift your chest. Puff up your heart, your head can drop back. Let that stretch open your neck and throat. Breathe. back down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a really good squeeze. Holding the backs of your thighs, rock yourself up to seated. And then we'll stretch one last time deep into the hips. So we'll take the right foot across the left knee, very similar to that standing balance that we did. Keep the foot flexed. And then you get to amplify or turn up or turn down the intensity here by how close you bring your hands in toward the body, or back off by walking the hands out a little bit further. You can close your eyes, breathing here. Coming back to that idea that every exhale, letting go of the stuff that might be carrying around with you that you don't want anymore, that stress, that tension. Use that breath. Let it go. And then you'll go ahead and switch legs. So bring the right foot down to the ground, the left foot crosses over the knee. You bring the hands in to the point of where it feels like enough for you. And breathe. Last big breath here. Let it go. Unwind your legs. Take a big windshield wiper side to side. Good, and then we're gonna lay all the way down onto your back. One more time. Hug the knees into your chest, give yourself a little squeeze. And then we're gonna make eagle legs. So cross the right thigh over the top of the left. And maybe even hook the toes around the back of the left leg. Arms open wide like a T, knees and legs drop over to the left. Turn and look over to the right. This is just a variation on a twist. If you don't like the legs all twisted up like that, don't do it. Just drop them over to the side. 3 more breaths to soften into the ground. And then bring yourself back to the center. Untangle your legs. Cross the other way, so left thigh over the right. And then knees and legs drop over to the right. Can you look all the way over to your left hand? Can you let your shoulders stay connected down into the mat? Last big breath here. Bring yourself back into the center. Hug your knees. Wrap your arms around your shins. Squeeze everything tight. And on your exhale, relax for Shavasana. Let yourself take up space. The legs fall open, the arms are out wide. Maybe you tuck your shoulders kind of underneath you a little bit, and you breathe. Text messages, so they stop interrupting your Shavasana. Sorry. Every breath is a chance to let go. Little by little through this practice, we find our way back to ourselves. We'll take about 10 more breaths here. Without changing a thing, just notice. How are you? And then as you're ready, start to let a little movement back in. With the fingers, the toes, the wrists, and the ankles. Gently make your way onto one side, coming into that fetal position. Take this last moment of your practice and tell yourself thank you. This time of taking care of yourself, tapping into who are you and what do you need, what's your truth. This is so important. Whether you do it through yoga or anything else, but carving out this time to take care of yourself allows you to then go out and take care of everything else. So tell yourself thank you. And as you're ready, make your way back to seated. You can close your eyes, hands can rest at your heart. And we will close together with 3 breaths. We inhale. And we exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bowing forward, we honor this practice of yoga, this tradition, for all that it has to teach us, mind, body, spirit, on the mat and off. Thank you to all of you yogis out there, and thank you to Heather here. Have a lovely day, a great weekend. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. And just a heads up, I'm leading a workshop on the history of yoga, a very brief history of yoga. We're going to look at how did we get here from the beginning in ancient India to Zooming together in